just under 4 weeks now until it all begins in Paris, France. And this weekend, I guess 2 big matches up north, England, Wales, France, Scotland, and we got some insight, maybe some further insight. It was an interesting results, but we'll maybe talk about those in another video. It's a larger context, even related to what's transpired with the Springboks that has captured my thinking, and something I want to ask any and all those who are watching and listening to this video. The preparation for Rugby World Cup. We know teams want to not necessarily divulge all of their tactics or want to keep some things on ice, but it's been interesting listening to how fans reconcile, probably maybe is the word. Like I've seen in the English context that reconciling them looking as, let's be honest, pretty ordinary in these recent 2 matches, and how somehow that fits the larger preparing for the Rugby World Cup narrative. And then we have the Springboks and what's transpired with Pollard and Arm, and talk from some, even on a previous video, about, well, they're going to play as if there's somehow sort of baked in strategy. And recently I saw it flash past me through some media form about someone in the South African fraternity explaining that, you know, you couldn't just pick 2 players and then, you know, move them on. You can't have such a cunning or cold-hearted strategy. So how is this all unfolding? Is there a game of chess that's going on, and at what level? See, I'm sure teams aren't showing us everything. They're not showing us probably some of the moves, some of the finishing arrangements. They're not even showing us necessarily all the combinations. However, I think we underestimate the challenge of international test rugby if we think that fundamentally the structure of how a team plays is awaiting a knockout contest. Yes, there may be a different emphasis. Yes, it may be something that is quite specific, that is distinctive from what's been, but I don't think teams can somehow, you know, go from a cocoon to a butterfly in terms of the way they play. Now, the impact may be more so. Impact may be really demonstrative so that it appears like that. However, my sense in terms of is that the more that Rugby World Cups have become a reality, the more we tend to consider that there's a subversive game going on. And it's interesting to see how that is being worked itself so far. And my nation I think, has laid its cards on the table, where previously they have tried to just keep things on ice. I think in 2015, and the matches leading into that quarterfinal, and then they came out and went. So I think that can be an example that of what's transpiring, and we're not necessarily seeing because of all the different combinations. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot of posturing, a lot of manoeuvring going on. So is there a grand chess game that's going on with these teams? How much are these teams showing? Which team is showing the most? I think I'll probably already answer that in this video. And do you think a team can go from one game plan as a structure to another? And which team do you think is showing us the least? It's fascinating to consider. And we do know that you can often, if it's once bitten, then a side can do the unthinkable. And so maybe there are sides out there who have got a special manoeuvres or a special style, a special edition, where the 80% of the game is what it is, but there's a 20% that they want to leave for the supposed quarterfinalist, semi-finalist, or finalist. What do you think? Now, is there a big conspiracy that's going on where sides are purposefully trying to misdirect attention, trying to confuse the opposition, trying to give an impression that's not really there? And how do you do that? How can you do that at the more fundamental level? And what does that mean? And I think this weekend, I see one of the test matches is, I believe England are travelling to Ireland, and I think that's going to be a fascinating match in light of England's 2 previous matches, and in light of Ireland's position in World Rugby. And so that could be one to really take notice of. So, what do you think? Please share. Please pass on your thoughts, not only for myself, but for those who'll be visiting as well. Like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Subscribing is really important and really significant. I'm told that. I'm encouraged to repeat that. But it does make a difference. And it does make a difference to what we will potentially do in this Rugby World Cup. We reach 1,000, and that gives us the option to live stream and not just record a commentary and put on later. So we really want to get past that 1,000 mark. And so if you've found that this platform has at least some value and the potential there is for more, then I encourage you. We encourage you, the plural of power, to empower this platform. If I can spell it out as my nose. This is a great ending. We're finishing strong. Reminds me of that draw at Twickenham last year. Anyway, enough from me. I'm Johnny King.